Hello, I am Monique Capelta, and today I am going to be cooking for you a very simple Italian dish with a twist. The dish today is called Chicken Marsala, and I don't know about you, but some people in my family and friends, they don't like mushrooms. So I have a little alternative for that. Okay, first of all, we are going to start with, I choose to use all natural fresh chicken. It's like organic. And we are going to put it, some people use, put it between wax paper, but I don't have any right now. So what we're going to do is I just put it between these two little plastic things. I take a frying pan, just like this, and I beat the chicken till it's about a quarter of an inch. I don't think I can cook like this, so I'm going to put my apron on because I'm sometimes a very messy cook. Okay, now I'm ready. Okay, the chicken is almost tender. We're going to take pieces of chicken and we are going to gather our ingredients here. First of all, I salt the chicken with sea salt, just a little bit. Okay, now we are going to put the raw chicken, already pre-flattened, and we're going to create the little mixture before we bread the chicken with flour. So first I take olive oil and I put in a plate. And I add about a tablespoon of rosemary, a tablespoon of parsley, a tablespoon of oregano, a tablespoon of basil, and just a little pinch of garlic powder. And can't forget black pepper. Black pepper, about a teaspoon. So now, what I do after I've created this little mixture, I take a spoon and I mix it all together. I don't know if you can see that. This is a special dipping sauce. It's actually really, really good, just along with bread. Now, as you have seen, I have already cut the chicken up. It was breast originally. I just cut it up, you know, so it will cook faster into like little cutlets here. Okay, I'm going to take chicken here, and we're going to just put it inside of this olive oil. I always cut the little pieces of fatty off of the chicken because, well, I'm very picky and I don't like that at all. So then we just, you know, that's all we're doing now. And we're going to let it sit there while we prepare the rest of the. Okay, so now after we have marinate, we are right now letting all the spices soak into the chicken and preparing our other ingredients. Now, this is about 1 bulb of chopped up garlic. We have 2 tablespoons of butter melted and a ½ cup of chicken broth. I have already pre-steamed, actually sometimes I microwave the broccoli in water for about 2 minutes and then drain it so it'll be extra soft and won't have to cook so long on the stove. Onions, green peppers, red peppers. Then I use 1 sweet red Italian onion. And we're just for a little added color and taste, we're going to put some yellow peppers in there as well. I have 2 different kinds of mushrooms here. I slice them very, very thin. They've already been rinsed and everything. And these are both white mushrooms, but I choose to mix 1 can of mushrooms and an 8-ounce pack of mushrooms. Okay, So that's our ingredients beside Marsala wine sauce. So we're going to start by heating up the garlic in olive oil. I usually use it under medium. So we're going to put the garlic in there, along with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil there. And I'm going to go ahead and add about half of this, so about 1 tablespoon of butter to begin with. We're going to let that heat up so the garlic can kind of like just mesh together, so it's really yummy. And then we're going to start by adding the mushrooms first. These mushrooms, and they're going to have to be, cooked for about, I would say, 2 minutes. We'll just see how they are. We do salt these before or when we're putting them in there because that releases all of the juices. So now we are just heating up all of the garlic here. And we're getting ready to throw all the mushrooms in. First, the mushrooms. Like I said, that's about 8 ounces. And we're going to let them cook just a minute or 2 before the canned mushrooms. Okay, so now we're going to start sauteing the rest of the vegetables. Again, the chicken is still marinating in a special seasoning. So right now, we are going to add a little bit of olive oil put it on about medium. So we're going to start with the green, red, and onion mix. Green and red pepper and onions, sorry. Along with the sweet red onions. And this is going to probably take about 10 minutes to saute that good. And then we're going to add the yellow peppers. Okay, and we'll just mix this up, put it on medium, and let that be sauteing. Now these mushrooms, see how the juices are? I don't know if you can see this, but see how much juice is coming out of there? Now that's all the natural juices from those mushrooms, the raw mushrooms. So now these are pretty good. We're going to go ahead and add the canned mushrooms now, so that can start getting some of that good flavor in there. And we're just going to let that simmer for about 5 minutes. The peppers, see the peppers and onion mix here? That's about good and sauteed. That took about 8 minutes. Now you're going to leave this on the stove, but you're going to cut off the temperature in just a second. And you see the mushrooms? These are just perfect. Like, nice and juicy. Add the steamed broccoli. It's already like pre-cooked, so it doesn't have to take so long. I'm going to add that to the mushrooms. And let this mix up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add the other tablespoon of butter. And now we're going to combine the two. There we go. So this is going to be simmering while we start preparing the chicken. And we're also going to add right now about a cup of Marsala wine. I can get it open. And the chicken broth. That's a half a cup. we're going to keep this on very, very, very low. And we're going to cover it. I gotta go get the cover. So now we're going to prepare the chicken. And I personally don't like to make a mess with flour and have to wash my hands like 1,000 times. So after we've left the chicken marinated in the special sauces for it's been about 10 minutes, maybe longer than that, but the longer you leave it, the better the taste. So now we're going to add it to the flour. So we're going to lightly just place this in the flour, just like that. And so after we lightly bread chicken, I'll lay it in the plate. It doesn't have to be, that much breaded, just enough to, it adds a little thickness to the sauce, and it keeps the herbs cooking inside the chicken, if that's the right way to say it. We have completed the first 3 minutes. We're going to flip this. I went ahead and added another frying pan so it would speed up the cooking time. So we're going to set this back to 3 minutes, and we're going to flip. You can take a look. See how nice and brown the chicken is? It's perfect. Like it's like almost done. Like absolutely beautiful. There we go. So now we're waiting another 2.5 minutes for this, 3 minutes. And this one will be ready to turn in just a few minutes. And then we just have a little bit more. I've went ahead and started the noodles. We're waiting on the water to boil. First chicken is complete. So we're going to start adding this, as it finishes, to the sauce, to the veggies and the marsala sauce. Okay, so now we have added all the chicken to the vegetables, and we are going to add about another ½ a cup of marsala sauce. Marsala wine, sorry. And now we're just going to cover it, and it's going to simmer for about 10 minutes on very, very, very low. So now the water is boiling. We are going to add our noodles. Now the timer just went off for the noodles, so we're going to drain the noodles. So now we're going to add our special seasoning to the noodles. We're going to add about a tablespoon olive oil and just about ½ a teaspoon rosemary, teaspoon of parsley, ½ teaspoon of basil, ½ teaspoon of oregano, pepper. Okay. We're just going to stir all this goodness up. We're going to throw in some grated Parmesan cheese. I usually just add a little bit to the noodles. Noodles are ready. Finally finished. The whole meal takes about an hour, I would say. Took me a little bit longer since I made extra because, this is for my family is going to eat this, after I'm done. So, anyways, let me just show you what the final product looks like. Woo. So we're going to just put some noodles here on the side. Alright, so that's the final, what it looks like. So we're just going to put the plate. That's a good portion. And the last little touch is just adding a little bit of Parmesan. And for the whole dish. And voila! Chicken Marsala. Alright, that's it. Hope you enjoy. Bye.